Hey everyone, it's Mr. Robinson here. So, as I mentioned in my Peanuts review, I'm heading back to LA, but I decided to make this little video beforehand. Well, actually, not a little video, it's a long video, but I decided to upload it before I take off. Now, I did a commentary on the first episode of Ed, and Eddy um, as a first attempt. And you're thinking of stuff like, well, how can I watch it? Well, easy. You could go to Netflix. The first season is up on Netflix. Just go to Pop Goes the Ed and Over Your Head. And yeah, play it in sync with my commentary. So, yeah, that's all I have to say. I hope you guys enjoy the commentary. And you should start the episode right now. Hey everyone, this is Mr. Robinson. You noticed I'm gonna try to do something a little different that I hope to continue every now and then. Do audio commentaries on things. And the reason I'm doing that is because, well, A, why not do it? And B, I'm planning to start a commentary on a movie that I really love that I'm going to do in the next few months. And people have been requesting me to do more Ed and Eddy videos. I never understood why Double D fainted in the credits, but there's Pop Goes the Ed. So yeah, I figured, hey, kill two birds with one stone. Give the people more Ed and Eddy videos, or Ed and A related videos, and start prep for this commentary that I plan to do. So yeah, I've mentioned before Ed and Eddy's my favorite Cartoon Network show, and probably my favorite cartoon when I was growing up because it just had ridiculous moments. I mean, this is the very first episode, and we get introduced to the Eds as they beat up a beehive and then get their asses chased across the cul-de-sac by some very angry bees. But yeah, that time period, the 90s, or late 90s, early 2000s, I love how Ed's just so calm that the fact that he's just swollen up. Yeah, the 90s was just a great time. Like, you didn't have to worry about politics, you didn't have to worry about paying college tuition. Um, you just, in the summertime, you just hang out with your friends, do things, try to avoid getting burnt by the sun. I mean, especially if you're in Texas. But the last two summers that LA's been having, it just feels like Texas. And like the one thing I kind of didn't like about the Ed and Eddy show was just how Eds are never in a good situation. Like nothing ever good happens to them in the end. But Ed always manages to have a smile on his face. But like when you're a kid in the 90s, you like kind of have the motivation to do stupid things. Like I know kids would like put themselves in a washing machine or dryer at times, which like yeah, it seemed like a fun idea at the time, but you look back at it and you think, well, why did I even do that? But I've never tried to stick myself in a freezer before and turn a block of ice because well, I'm too big for a freezer and I'm in live action. This is a cartoon. Man, that son is being a dick to the Eds. Speaking of being a dick, this is Kevin. Probably next to Sarah, my least favorite character in the entire series. And you're getting an example of why. Okay, rule number one when it comes to parties. I mean, in this day and age, like, you crash a party, um, or at least in my experience, no one's gonna really notice. Like, I crashed a party during my first quarter at UC Santa Cruz, and did anyone notice, say anything? Like, no, they just said, hey, welcome to this party, and yeah, go nuts. And, okay, back to Kevin. The reason I don't like Kevin is because, like, he's one of those stereotypical characters that is just being shitty for no real reason. Like, even as the series went on, he's never had a good reason to call the Eds dorks. I want that security system for my drawers, or at least my DVD and Blu-ray collection. But Kevin, like, for those young people out there, it's best you learn this now than when you're older. Um, Dork means whale penis, so the whole time Kevin's referring to the Eds as whale penises. I love how Ed's just so amused by the box rather than the Speedos. Which, by the way, you will never, ever catch me dead wearing a Speedo. Because, I mean, yeah, people do not want to see me in a Speedo, and that's probably for the best. You know, this kind of music, like along with surf rock, always gives me the urge to go to Hurricane Harbor. Because I haven't been in, uh, I want to say 3 years. It's been a long time since I've been to Hurricane Harbor. I have such the urge to go back. Oh, 3 years. I think it was like 4 years I haven't been. I know, I don't remember, but it was a long, long time since I've been to Hurricane Harbor. What a lame sprinkler party. I don't know, maybe in the summer, once summer comes around, a bunch of my friends can. I could plan a trip with some of my friends to Hurricane Harbor before I gotta get to finding jobs and work and that stuff, the lame things that you didn't have to think about during that time this cartoon came out. Wow, what an entrance. Well, at least they did come in style. Super chump is what Eddy is right now. Like, he's all muscular there, and then once the hair is gone, he just turns fat all of a sudden. Yeah, Eddy has a reason to be shitty to Kevin because he's shitty backs. But I don't know. Naz is probably the most attractive woman in the series, but she's not that bright, I'll admit. Okay, Jimmy. I know Rolf is the more interesting character right now, but Jimmy, like, when we first saw Jimmy, he had an eye patch on, and now he's a band-aid on his head. Like, Jimmy is just like that poor kid that just is always in some kind of injury. Like, he'll always have something on him that just, like, this kid should stay inside more if he's getting hurt so much. Only in the cartoon world can you throw hamburgers into someone's mouth and they'll catch it flawlessly. Not so much the pig head. There you go, Jimmy. There's a pig head for you. You notice that, okay, look at Ed and Double D. See, they're static, and then now they have outlines. That was like the one animation style that separated the series from other shows on Cartoon Network, such as Dexter's Lab, Powerpuff, and Johnny Bravo. I mean, those, as great as those shows are, like, Ed and Eddy had this unique animation style where the outlines just jittered around. And that's something I like. Yeah, I used to. Okay, I actually. No, I was about to say that I used to have that problem where I just, like, talked about something that nobody wanted to hear or nobody cared to hear. But no, I was, like, more that guy that just sat in the corner and just did nothing. Wow, it makes me look like a fantastic dancer by comparison. And not just because I'm doing tango now. Oh, a bunch of assholes. But yeah, that music back there reminded me of Wipeout. You know, the. But yeah, that kind of music always gets me in the mood to go to Hurricane Harbor. I know I keep obsessing about that, but I don't know. I would always try to do things that like make myself seem bigger than before. Do something epic, and that no one would just give a shit about. Yeah, so I guess that's the reason why I identified so much with this show, because I was more like the outcast, and at times something went right for me, but not usual. Not most of the time. Things just like I don't know. Nobody just really cared for me at the time, but glad that's changed now. Hmm. Ugh. As an adult, you now have to think like see another cast on Jimmy. See, when you're a kid, like you think Eddie looks like a pig when he's naked. Yeah, I know it's a weird observation to make, but I mean because he's pink, you can't help it. But anyway, before I got interrupted again, when you're a kid, like you think of something. Oh, they ate their bathing suits. Oh, that's funny. Or oh, Jimmy just drank the bathing suit. That's funny. But now, as an adult, like I'm in this mindset where I think, who knows what's been on those things? Like, yeah, you guys might want to go see a doctor afterwards. Say yes, guys. You got this in the bag. Okay, for the longest time, I always thought that was vomit. But then, if you really paid attention, the colors were different, and then I just realized, oh, that's the tongues. I want to buy a cake now. And yeah, any cake that big, like, whether I have clothes on or not, I'm willing to go after that cake. Okay, one other thing I want you to pay attention to is look at, like, the character animations or character models aren't, like, fully finalized yet. And then when we get to the next episode, just look how more finalized they are. Okay, look at Ed in the background. See his outline's not moving? Or Ed right in that corner. And now we pan over and he's like, his outline's moving around. I mean, it's kind of hard to make that observation since they're shaking cold. Yeah, I'm glad that the effects of water are not that drastic where they just turn you into this wheeling tub of fat or something. And what a nice way to come full circle. Being chased by a bunch of bees. That's what the series, I think, should have ended on, just to be funny. And now we're at Over Your Ed. Those sticky notes that Double D has, just so... I'm glad we live in the age with iPhones and notes there. You can just take it on your iPhone without infesting a whole house with sticky notes. And one thing about Double D's hat, like, at the end of the series, they were promised to show what was under that thing, but they calmed down and just didn't show us. Which I kind of admire because it still leaves to the mystery of what's under that thing, and I've seen a lot of fan art of what it is. And you will never ever catch me singing in a shower, ever. You might catch me listening to music or podcasts like Rage Select One of Us, but never sing. You ever have those moments, whether you're a kid or not, where you just walk into a place and you're wondering, wait, why am I here? You know, yeah, think, like, Ed and Eddy can't be 10 years old. They gotta be like, I don't know, I'm under the impression they're like high school people. Even though later in the series, it is established they go to middle school. So, they could get jobs, like, they wouldn't have to worry about these stupid scams. But I guess that's like Eddy wanted to be an independent entrepreneur in many, many different kinds of fields. But at the same time, with this economy, you gotta think, what is 25 cents ain't gonna do shit for you. Like, what are you gonna buy with 25 cents? Wow, I just realized I was digging much deeper into this show than I probably should have. You know, one thing I'd like to imagine is that when Eddy poured that giant bag of sugar into the drink, it was just like, that was too much, but and not enough to make Double D go berserk, and then that little dab is what did it. Smelly, smelly, smelly. Double D actually used to irritate me because, just because he was like this, such a perfectionist. And Ed was the only one that got laughs from me because, I don't know, he was so stupid. But you still like the guy. Double D now, like, I guess now that, because of Big Bang Theory, like, smart people have, like, been funnier in a way. Although Double D can be this just annoying person at times. where he's just like, he wants everything done by the book, that it just kind of gets on your nerves. Nice one, Ed. Totally butchered that intro. This is the second time I'm actually reviewing this commentary, because at the end, I wanted to flawlessly do my outro, but I just like butchered it completely. So this is the second time I'm doing this commentary, and believe it or not, that commentary actually had less stuff for me to talk about, because it was my first time doing a commentary, so like I didn't know what else to talk about. But now I feel like I'm more talkative this time. And I don't know. Hopefully I don't jinx it. Hopefully it doesn't go downhill after this. It's so stupid that like whenever he's in trouble, he still has a smile on his face. And he's like, "What do you have to say for yourself? Drink, mister?" I also love Ed's laugh. Some reason that line always had me laughing. I mean, maybe because like I always thought nudity was funny back in the day. I mean, at times it can be, but yeah, like seeing an animated naked cartoon, like I always thought was funny. You know, you gotta think, why don't they just keep this machine up to wash all the wagons, bikes, and scooters in the cul-de-sac? I mean, they built this thing solely for Ed. Why don't they use it for other purposes? I mean, they would be filthy rich, or at least they'd be rich as in they'd make $5 a day, but it'd be better than all the other crazy stuff they come up with. Yeah, I don't think I've ever seen a closet that big, or I don't think there exists one unless you're like Paris Hilton or some huge celebrity that no one cares about. um, yeah, I've seen some big closets, but not like this. Also in the series, like they would actually put more effort into detailing the backgrounds, because notice a lot of Eddy's room is pink, and they don't bother to color in the clothes, the shoes, the speakers. Then outside they'll detail stuff. But yeah, I mean, this is the first episode, so you give it a pass. I think, like, in later episodes they do detail things. Yeah, Eddy doesn't look cool doing that. Didn't look cool doing that pose, probably because his arms are so skinny. Yeah, I feel like I jinxed it. I feel like I jinxed it because I'm actually running out of stuff to come up with. Or, okay, never mind. I do have something to talk about the closer we get to the end of this episode, but it just hasn't happened yet. Oh, there's Jimmy again. Let's see what kind of injury he has on him this time. Let's see. Oh, it looks like... Oh, I missed it. Schwiggity schwag. Does anyone ever say that? And it's his fingers. His fingers on his left hand are broken, cut, or I don't know. But yeah, poor Jimmy. Like, he has that retainer that makes his head look like Saturn. And then he always has some injury on him. Like, Jimmy, I've said it before, but he's really got to stay inside more. You mean nobody recognized Ed with that out... How many people in this cul-de-sac have one eyebrow and no chin? It's kind of hard to miss. Okay, that stumped me. Call me stupid, but 5'9". Oh, god damn it. Okay, I just got it. What are you up to? 5'9", give or take. Yeah, I just got that. As soon as I started talking about how I didn't get it, I ended up getting it. It's a miracle how I work like that. Eddy going to another scam. rather than going back to that Ed wash and turning into a bike, wagon, scooter wash. I don't know. I'm gonna stop. I'm gonna stop staying on that. Yeah, 25 cents is, like, this day is just generous. Like, you'd be grateful to give away 25 cents. Eddy, like, that's the beauty of Eddy's genius when it comes to scamming people. It's like, because Johnny thinks that Plank is a real thing, it's like, nope, Plank's gotta pay too. I actually found a block of wood recently, or a plank of wood, more appropriately. Um, like when I was a kid, and painted a eye and smiley face on, and like it really turned into a legitimate plank because I don't think there was ever any Ed and Eddy merchandise outside of a couple of video games and DVDs. Okay, here's something that bothers me. Okay, not so much bothers me, but like I don't know. The Kinker sisters. A, they don't, since they fight themselves in love with the Eds a lot. Why don't the Eds just come to them as bodyguards? Because all the other kids are just these giant assholes, except for maybe Naz and occasionally Johnny and Rolf. But I don't know. Another thing that irritates me is like in this episode, the Kinker sisters just pop out of nowhere. We have no idea who they are, and then in the next episode, the name's escaping me. We get basically introduction to the Kinker sisters, where the Eds meet the Kinkers for the first time, and yeah, it's just kind of weird that these three girls just pop up out of nowhere, and we have no idea who they are. Like, in fact, we don't even know that they have a crush on the Eds until the next episode, because here, it just seems like they're bigger assholes than the kids in the cul-de-sac are, mainly Kevin and Sarah. I don't understand why Rolf is so freaked out. I mean, he lives on a farm where probably every other animal smells like shit, so why is he so turned off by the Eds? I don't know, maybe it's because Ed himself just smells absolutely awful. You know, if you didn't rev up your legs, Eddy, you probably would have gotten your money. But yeah, another example of nothing turns out right for them in the end. Oh, don't worry, you're still famous, but not in a good way, or at least according to Kevin and Sarah. Jesus, always twice the... Actually, okay, this one I legitimately don't get. And that's how we're ending this commentary, on a joke that I don't understand. So yeah, that's my first ever commentary. Leave a comment and tell me if I did good, how I can improve, that kind of stuff. Subscribe to my channel for more commentaries and videos in the future. Check out my other channel, AlexG8462. You can follow me on Twitter at AlexG8462. You can follow me on Mr. Robinson on Instagram. And go like my Facebook page, /The Cinemas of Mr. Robinson. Share me with your friends and tell them about me. And remember to know it before you see it. This has been The Cinemas of Mr. Robinson. I'll see you guys later.